Well, this has been a very interesting and eventful 24 hours. My finances have vastly improved temporarily. So I've been able to put a lot of projects and plans in motion, some of which will end up on here eventually. So yeah. Did karaoke in my local pub, the Brewers Arms, last night. I did Valhalla Calling, Peyton Parish, Miracle of Sound, and it went down rather well. So I was wearing a Viking tunic and my leather breastplate that I've got, just to add to it. But I didn't take any weapons down because pubs in England can be a bit funny about that. Yeah, so that was a good night. Bumped into an old friend who I've known for 30 years, who turned up out of the blue, so that was nice as well. Yeah. Entered the local Games Workshop's monthly painting competition, got a free miniature, I think it's from the Age of Sigmar range. Yes, it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And bought another one, just because I could. Just per the moment impulse thing, really. I purchased a new hat. East German Kriegsmarine, post World War II, I think. Early post World War II.
The virus. How did those rats spread it?
Certainly looks very Soviet in design to me. Very cheap, actually. Oh, because it's not World War II German memorabilia, which is very hideously expensive. Bit like their tanks, really. Yeah, and it just so happened I didn't know that basically Geek Retreat, which is a kind of game franchise in this country, the local branch was having a May the 4th Be With You Star Wars cosplay day with a local cosplay group who are called Synergy Cosplay, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Yep. Sorry, a little bit there. And who seems like I will be getting involved with because it's really good. I've got a work in progress when it comes to cosplay. It's an old plastic 50 caliber Desert Eagle BB gun. The mechanism no longer works, so I've turned it into a Fallout-y type version. It's work in progress. There's still some work to be done on it, but yeah. Yeah. But I didn't have that with me, so I bought a Nerf gun, basically. Which is rather fun. I haven't worked out how to fully load it yet. I can load one or two, but I can't seem to put all the balls in. And basically I got down there and they were at the Micro Shops, which is further up. They were holding an event. And there was 2 Stormtroopers, Return of the Jedi Speeder Bike Scout, Darth Vader, the Mandalorian, an Imperial officer, someone from Dungeons and Dragons, a few superheroes, and there was someone dressed up as Deadpool, which was wicked, man. That was cool as all hell. So yeah, that was, and I just joined in with them because I kind of like looked like a Warhammer 40. I was wearing a military style jacket, with my leather jacket with the wire armour on one shoulder over it, and with Nerf gun as well and my walking stick. I kind of looked like a Warhammer 40k Imperial Commissar or something, or maybe just a very well dressed raider from Fallout 4. And a couple of times I did the whole "Scar shooting straight, rookie," and a few other of the more child-friendly utterances that the Raiders in Fallout 4 come out with. I mean, I doubt the average 6-year-old knows what jet is, you know. Jet'll make you jittery. No, and also today, of course, there was a major event in my hometown, Ipswich. Ipswich Town Football Club have moved up to the Premier League. So, as we were all standing outside the Geek Retreat, you know, in Star Wars costumes and various other eclectic costumes, the cars were going past, the hoopers were going, the flags were flying, and the Blue Army was out in force. And it was a carnival atmosphere. My lovely partner, I actually persuaded her to come out. And because she's a gamer too, aren't you, my dear? Mm-hmm. Playing Resident Evil 2, the remake at the moment, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And basically, I had a really, really good time. The atmosphere in town was very busy, very noisy, but real kind of like carnival party atmosphere, I think. We had a pint on the way back in a very crowded pub near the park. Where you tend to get the more middle upper class football fans most of the time, so you know, which was nice. It's dog friendly, and there was a lovely British bulldog in there. He was gorgeous, he really was. My voice is still a bit rough from singing last night because I mean I was obviously singing along like crazy when we were dancing in St Jude's Brewery Tavern last night at one of Darren Smith. Hello, Darren. At one of his gigs, which was really good. We had a good time. He knows how to keep people like me on the dance floor, he does. So, yeah. Tonight I'm planning a reasonably quiet night in with some good food, good company and good wine. And tomorrow night we have reenactment training again. So, I mean, there's a music event in the park. I may drop in lunchtime, maybe have a beer or two, and that'll be it. Because we have a rule where you don't turn up for training at 6 o'clock in the evening under the influence. That is not the done thing, and that is a rule we stick to. At events, Stiganda, our leader, has a rule that no alcohol passes your lips until the event is closed, and then no weapons apart from personal knives are to be carried, unless you're just moving it from one place to another and you're sober or whatever. So security and safety is very much a thing. Although some who've watched some of the videos may disagree with that, but that's your problem, not mine. Yeah, enough about that. So yeah, Ipswich Town moving up to the Premier League. I think it'll be tougher for them, but it will bring more revenue into the town itself for obvious reasons. Premiership time, sponsorships, businesses will do better because bigger clubs with more of a following will be playing at Ipswich Town FC, and I'm close enough to the stadium to often hear what's going on in there. So if the wind's in the right direction, I mean, years ago they used to use it for concerts, so I could stick my head out the kitchen window about, when was it, 6-7 years ago, wasn't it? And I could hear Pink in concert, and I think Rod Stewart and Elton John as well, I think, played there at some point, I don't know. So yeah, and I mean, where we live, New Year's Eve is always good because out of our back window we can be viewed right across town because we're up on the valley. And when all the fireworks go off at midnight, we're normally here. And we normally see in the new year watching all the fireworks going off across town, which is always a lovely time of year as far as we're concerned. It's been years since we've been out in a pub on New Year's Eve. It's not really our thing anymore. That might surprise some people who know me, but I think one of my things is that basically I tend to enjoy myself less when it's expected of me. You know, you've got to have a good time on New Year's Eve, haven't you? You know, it's expected for you to have a good time and you've got to be in the party mood. And I'm much more of a little project there. Hope you can see that reasonably well. Work in progress again. Chaos champion kind of. But yeah, I tend to enjoy myself more in a spontaneous event, which is why I can be a bit disorganised. Because if I turn up somewhere and I'm expected to have a good time, my cantankerous nature means I probably don't. If I feel under pressure to have a good time, it's why I've never really been a fan of the whole Christmas and New Year season. Because everybody's expected to have a good time. You know, you can't be grumpy and depressed at Christmas. But we all know a lot of people do get very depressed around that time of year. But you know, it's not that time of year, so that is not a subject I'm supposed to be talking about. But yeah, there's still plenty of blue and white flags and blue and white balloons at houses across the street. You know, Ipswich Town flags. I'll be honest, I think I've only seen them play once, and that was when I went with my middle school. When I was about, I don't know, 12 maybe, 10, between 10 and 12 anyway. I've never really been that into football. It's just the way I am, you know. The only time I'm a team player is usually in a reenactment group. Now maybe a bit on online gaming. I mean, but with World of Tanks and World of Warships, you can get away with doing individual deeds, and sometimes people will cooperate spontaneously, and that is lovely to see. I spent some time at Chip today as well, so left one of my hats there, which Gio jokingly told me he'd sold for the £7 he paid for a trinket that I sold him. I'll pick it up Tuesday, I think, when the next open. Or if not, Wednesday. I have plenty of other hats. You know, and I've got my reenactment helmet as well. And I've got my nice new Kriegsmarine helmet. The helmet? That's a cap, Howard. Duh. Jawohl. Yeah, I mean, it's even got someone's name in it. It looks like Lambert. It fits. Albert Kempf. Don't know if anybody knows any German. I suppose I should look it up and translate it, really, shouldn't I? But I'm being lazy. It's a bank holiday weekend in the UK. And it generally means, originally it kind of meant a while back that most shops weren't open, nothing was open. But nowadays it is literally strictly only a bank holiday, really. And obviously people who work in care services like my partner have always probably had to work at that time of year anyway. So, and these days it's like that for near enough everyone, I think. So it used to be a thing. No doubt tomorrow there'll be barbecues and stuff like that. I mean, you know, but be busy tomorrow night with training. And as yet, I've yet to manage to either cadge a lift or get a group of people together to go to a place called Mendlesham, where there's a medieval craft fair in aid of restoring a church armoury, I believe. Where I was hoping to pick up some trinkets. Well, not trinkets, reenactment gear. But it looks like that might well not happen, thanks to Ipswich Town being promoted, actually. Because the only person who offered themselves as potential transport to get there is the leader of our reenactment group, Odin's Raven Guard, Stigander, and basically, because Ipswich Town have been promoted, there's going to be a big event on Monday celebrating the promotion, and he does security work, and he's probably going to be working now. So thanks, Ipswich Town. Nah, they're all right, bless them. You have to kind of like join in, because football, soccer, as the Americans call it, is the major game in this country, really. It always has been. I mean, rugby's popular. I like tennis, personally, and I like motorcycle road racing to watch. I mean, I used to be a biker years ago, so, you know, that kind of thrill has always, you know, got me heart beating, you know. Yeah, so overall, a really, really good day. Found Loki t-shirt with Asgard written on the lower back as well. Quite nice, I think. And that I bought from a friend of mine called Paula Longstaff, who runs her own little pop-up shop in the town centre in Carr Street in Ipswich, where you have her shop, which is basically Bewitched. It's Bewitched, isn't it? Or Bewitching Crafts and Jewellery. She's very clever with her hands. She makes and repairs jewellery, and she sells loads of other trinkets, and she's a really lovely lady. And there are various other stalls in there as well. That's where the retro games shop run by Alistair is as well, where if you pay a subscription, you can game to your heart's content on consoles going back to the 80s. And he's got everything pretty much. There are some wonderful food stores. There's an Indian place that does the most wonderful kind of like Indian cheese and vegetable toasted sandwiches that are delicious. Burritos, jerk chicken, curried goat. Marvellous coffee shop run by my friend Daryl. Cookie barista. And they often hold events and music there as well. Very nice place. Hope I didn't forget to mention anyone. The comic shop, yes. You get a mention too. Try my best here. And yeah, Synergy Cosplay. I hope to see you guys soon and join in with some of the fun, because I found you all really pleasant and really fun to be around. And also Geek Retreat in town, real fun place. I can recommend it to anyone who's local. So yeah, I think it's a franchise nationwide. But yeah, just a really, really excellent day, and I'm looking forward to getting some domestic stuff sorted, getting a lovely piece of steak in the oven with harissa spices, olive oil, butter, garlic, black pepper, with some assorted vegetables as well, and sitting down and eating that with a glass of wine, you know. Maybe after the glass of wine, I'll follow it up with a double of 12-year-old single malt Glenfiddich whiskey. I love that. A legacy of my father, I think. God's rest his soul. Oh, and to end on a note, I did get hassled by religious people in town earlier. That's always pleasant, isn't it? You know, I don't mind the ones that just stand there with their leaflets, advertising free Bible classes or whatever. They're fine, but it's the ones that start pushing you. They were pushing for a gospel choir. I appreciate the fact that gospel choirs sound really nice, and a lot of them are hugely talented, but it's just not my bag. You know, I believe in Odin, Thor, Freya, Frey. I respect Christianity when Christians give me respect, but it's just not my bag, you know. And she was getting quite passive-aggressive, quite friendly but pushy. And I basically, she was going on about you should worship the one true God. And I was like, oh, but there are many gods. And she was, oh, there is only one true. And I was like, okay, we'll agree to differ then. Bye. See you later. Oh, there's no need for it. people believe what they believe, and you aren't going to change it by forcing your beliefs down their throat. That is not human nature. We are by nature obstinate creatures. And we've had to be to actually survive over the millennia, I think. Okay, sometimes it can be counterproductive and indeed very negative, people not changing their beliefs or ideals or whatever. So yeah, but it's being able to pick out the ideals that are harmful to yourself and others and change them, I think, anyway. Yeah, that got really complicated really fast. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to finish my cigarette, sort myself out, watch a little bit more of the missus playing Resident Evil 2, and then get things sorted and have a very nice dinner, sit down, relax, watch something on telly, and I hope wherever you are, you're having a good weekend as well. So take care, people, and we'll speak again soon.